Rise of the human resistance. The sky above New Seattle burned, not with the familiar orange of sunset, but with the electric blue of alien weapons fire. Captain Maya Chen watched from the remains of the command bunker as another volley of energy torpedoes descended through the atmosphere, each impact sending tremors through the ground that rattled her teeth. "Status report," she demanded, voice steady despite the chaos. Lieutenant Reeves looked up from his console, face ashen. "Orbital defenses are at 12%. Ground batteries in sectors 3 through 7 are gone. The civilian evac is only at 63% complete." Maya closed her eyes for a fleeting moment. 3 months ago, she'd been commanding the UEN Dauntless on routine patrol near Saturn. Now Earth's defense fleet was scattered debris, and she was one of the highest-ranking officers still alive. "We need more time," she said. "Concentrate remaining batteries on their troop carriers. Let's make the bastards work for every inch." The Rax Imperium had appeared without warning, massive ships tearing holes in space itself to emerge in Earth's solar system. Their initial message had been simple: surrender or be eradicated. Humanity's answer had been equally simple: go to hell. The aliens hadn't expected resistance. That was their first mistake. The bunker shook violently as something massive impacted nearby. Dust and concrete fragments rained from the ceiling. "Man, we've lost contact with the Tokyo Basin and European coalition forces," Reeves reported. "Satellite feed shows their positions overrun." Maya's fingers tightened around the railing. "And the South American fortress, still holding. Admiral Vega reports they've managed to bring down 2 Rax destroyers. A small victory, but they needed more than small victories now." "Captain," a young tech called from the communications array. "I'm picking up a transmission. It's from the Nevada Research Complex." Maya's head snapped up. "Put it through." The holographic display flickered to life, revealing the face of a man with disheveled dark hair and 3 days' worth of stubble. His eyes were bloodshot but intense. "This is Dr. Elias Khan. Is anyone receiving?" His voice crackled through static. "Dr. Khan, this is Captain Chen. We hear you." Relief washed over his features. "Thank God. Listen carefully. We don't have much time. We've been analyzing the Rax technology from the scout ship we downed in the Movov. There's a weakness in their neural interface systems." Maya stepped closer to the display. "What kind of weakness?" "Their ships and weapons are partially organic, controlled through a synaptic web that." An explosion rocked Khan's end of the transmission, cutting him off momentarily. When he reappeared, blood trickled from a cut on his forehead. "They're here. I'm transmitting our research now. Find Chief Engineer Tara Reyes. She has the prototype. It's called the Pulse." The transmission cut off abruptly. "Did we get the data?" Maya demanded. The tech nodded. "Complete download, ma'am." Maya turned to her XO, Commander Jackson. "I need a team. We're going to Nevada." Jackson's eyes widened. "Captain, with all due respect, you're needed here." "What I'm needed for is finding a way to win this war," Maya replied. "And right now, that's in Nevada. You have command until I return." She paused. "If I don't return, implement the Scorched Earth Protocol. Don't let them take Earth intact." The journey to the Nevada complex was harrowing. The Rax had established air superiority over most of North America, forcing Maya's team to travel by ground through devastated landscapes and ruined cities. They'd moved by night, hiding during the day from the alien patrols that hunted for human survivors. On the 3rd night, they encountered their first Rax up close. The alien was tall, with iridescent scales that shifted color with its movements. Its 4 arms ended in clawed hands, and the breathing apparatus on its face gave it a menacing appearance. Maya's team eliminated it quickly, but not before it managed to signal others. "We need to move," Maya ordered as they collected what they could from the aliens' equipment. They hunt in packs. By dawn, they had reached the outer perimeter of the research complex. From their vantage point on a ridge, Maya could see that the facility had been ravaged. Smoke rose from multiple buildings, and Rack's troops moved through the compound methodically. "How do we get in?" asked Corporal Rodriguez, the youngest member of her team. "We don't," replied Maya. "We find the survivors." It took them another full day of careful observation before they spotted human movement, a small group of figures sneaking between buildings under cover of darkness. Maya led her team down, using the Rack's patrol patterns they'd observed to avoid detection. They found the survivors holed up in a sub-basement, barricaded behind reinforced doors. Dr. Elias Khan was among them, along with a woman Maya assumed was Chief Engineer Reyes. "Captain Chen," Khan greeted her, exhaustion evident in his voice. "You made it. What is this pulse you mentioned?" Maya asked without preamble. Reyes stepped forward. She was tall and wiry, with close-cropped gray hair and hands that bore the scars of someone who built things with them. "It's this," she said, revealing a device about the size of a briefcase. "It generates a specific frequency that disrupts their neural tech. We've tested it on captured equipment. It causes their systems to go haywire." "How effective is it?" Maya asked. "At this range, enough to disable their personal shields and weapons," Reyes replied. "But that's not the real potential. If we could deploy this on a larger scale, say, aboard one of their capital ships, we could potentially disable their entire fleet." Maya's eyes narrowed. "Their ships are linked. It's part of their hive technology," explained Khan. "Everything is connected through subspace relays. Hit the command node, and you disrupt the entire network." "How large would the device need to be to affect their fleet?" Reyes and Khan exchanged glances. "That's the thing," Reyes said. "The one we have is a prototype. To scale it up, we'd need access to their command ship's central processor. So we'd need to get aboard their command ship," Maya said, a plan already forming in her mind. "And we'd need to bring this device with us. It would be suicide," Khan warned. Maya's expression hardened. "Do you have a better idea, Doctor?" In the days that followed, they gathered what remained of the human resistance in the region. Survivors came out of hiding. Soldiers, civilians, scientists, all united by a shared determination to fight back. Maya's reputation as the ghost captain who had survived the initial space battle spread, giving hope to those who had none. Together, they devised a plan. The Racks had established a forward operating base in what was once Las Vegas. Intelligence suggested they were using it as a staging ground for their troops and smaller vessels. If they could capture one of those vessels, they might have a chance at approaching the command ship. The operation was set for the next full moon. Maya led a small elite team. Reyes with her pulse device, Khan with his knowledge of Rack's technology, and a handful of soldiers and engineers. The rest of the resistance would create a diversion, drawing the main Rack's force away from the target landing pad. "Remember," Maya told her team as they prepared to move out, "we're not just fighting for Earth anymore. We're fighting for humanity's right to exist in this galaxy. The Racks came here expecting an easy conquest. Let's show them how wrong they were." The attack began at midnight. Resistance fighters launched coordinated strikes against Rack's patrols on the outskirts of the base, setting off explosives and engaging in hit-and-run tactics that made their numbers seem greater than they were. As alarms blare and Rack's troops mobilized to respond, Maya's team moved silently toward their target, a scout ship on the landing pad. They encountered two Rack's guards outside the vessel. Maya took one down with her combat knife while Rodriguez eliminated the other. Khan worked quickly to bypass the ship's security systems, utilizing knowledge gleaned from the downed scout craft. "We're in," he whispered as the ship's entry ramp descended. Inside, they found what they needed, a neural interface chair that would allow them to communicate with the ship's organic systems. Reyes connected her pulse device, calibrating it to work with the ship's technology. "I need 10 minutes, she said, fingers flying over the controls. "You have 5, Maya replied, hearing the sounds of battle intensifying outside. "They'll figure out what we're doing soon enough." 4 minutes later, alarms blared throughout the ship. Reyes looked up from her work. "It's done. Basic control established. but I had to compromise on the translation algorithms. The ship will respond, but sluggishly. Can you fly it? Maya asked. I can make it go up. Beyond that, Rise shrugged. It's enough. Maya activated her comm. All teams, fall back to extraction points. Operation Trojan is a go. As resistance fighters retreated into the desert, Maya's team sealed themselves inside the alien craft. Rise took the neural interface chair, wincing as the organic connections established themselves. This feels wrong, she muttered, but her hands moved confidently over the alien controls. The ship rose shakily from the pad as Rax forces converged on their position. Energy blasts struck the hull, but the shields held, barely. Then they were accelerating upward, breaking through the clouds and into the upper atmosphere. We're being targeted, Khan reported, reading the alien displays. 3 interceptors on approach. Evasive maneuvers, ordered Maya, though she knew Reyes's control of the ship was limited at best. The ship lurched and twisted, movements jerky and unpredictable, which, ironically, made them harder to hit. 2 interceptors overshot them, while the third maintained pursuit. I can't shake them, Reyes said through gritted teeth, the neural interface clearly causing her discomfort. Maya turned to Rodriguez. Find me the weapons systems. It took precious seconds to locate and activate the ship's defensive capabilities. When they did, Maya targeted the pursuing interceptor and fired. The energy beam struck true, sending the alien craft spiraling away in flames. Set course for the command ship, Maya ordered. Let's show these bastards that humanity isn't going down without a fight. As they accelerated toward the massive Rax vessel hanging in orbit, Maya allowed herself a moment of grim satisfaction. The aliens had thought Earth would be an easy conquest. They were about to learn just how wrong they'd been. The first real victory for humanity in this war was at hand, and it would not be the last. The turning point. Space was beautiful, even in war. The stolen Rax scout ship shuddered as it approached the massive command vessel, and through the viewport, Maya could see Earth, a blue jewel suspended against the void, marred by the orange glow of fires, visible even from orbit. The sight steeled her resolve. This was a one-way mission, and everyone aboard knew it. Proximity alert, Khan said, his voice strained as he interpreted the alien symbols flickering across the display. They're scanning us. Reyes grimaced from the neural interface chair, sweat beading on her forehead. Authentication codes are transmitting. Let's hope the ones we pulled from their systems are still valid. Minutes passed in tense silence before the command ship's hangar bay opened like a massive maw, beckoning them inside. They bought it, Rodriguez whispered, gripping his weapon tighter. Maya shook her head. Maybe. Or they're inviting us into a trap. She looked at each member of her team. These brave few who had volunteered for what might be humanity's last desperate gambit. Either way, we're going in. Remember the plan. We find the central processor, deploy the pulse, and get out if we can. The scout ship settled onto the deck of the vast hangar bay with a gentle thud. Through the viewports, they could see Rax troops moving about their business, unaware that the newly arrived vessel contained humans rather than their own kind. Atmosphere is breathable, Khan reported, but there's something else, some kind of spore or particulate in the air. Masks on, Maya ordered. We don't know what effect their environment might have on us. They sealed their helmets and activated the optical camouflage they'd salvaged from Rax technology. Not true invisibility, but a disruption field that would make them harder to spot at a distance or on monitoring systems. Weapons check, Maya commanded. Each team member confirmed their gear was operational. The pulse device was secured in a backpack on Reyes's shoulders, connected to a remote trigger on her wrist. Opening in 3, 2, 1. The scout ship's ramp descended, and they moved swiftly into the alien vessel, sticking to shadows and maintenance corridors identified from the schematics they'd managed to extract from captured data cores. The Rax vessel was unlike any human craft. Corridors curved organically, Surfaces seemed to pulse with faint bioluminescence, and the air carried a metallic tang that penetrated even their filters. They made it 3 decks up before discovery became inevitable. A RACS maintenance worker rounded a corner, coming face to face with Rodriguez. It let out a high-pitched screech before the corporal could neutralize it. "Move," Maya ordered as alarms began to blare throughout the ship. "We're blown. New plan, direct approach." They abandoned stealth, racing through corridors toward the central processor chamber. RACS troops converged from multiple directions, their 4 armed forms moving with unsettling grace despite their size. Energy weapons discharge, leaving scorch marks on walls and floor where Maya's team narrowly avoided them. "Take cover," Maya commanded as they reached a junction. From behind a structural support, she returned fire, dropping 2 RACS soldiers. "Reyes, Khan, you're our priority. Stay center. Rodriguez, Hassan, flanking positions." The firefight intensified as more RACS joined the battle. Hassan took a glancing hit to his shoulder, armor smoking but intact. Rodriguez emptied his weapon into an advancing group, buying them precious seconds. Then came a sound that chilled Maya's blood. The distinctive heavy tread of a RACS enforcer, 8 feet tall with enhanced armor and weapons capable of punching through their best defenses. Enforcers were the elite of the RACS military. "We can't take that head-on," Maya said. "We need another route." Khan tapped his wrist display. "There's a maintenance shaft 2 junctions back. It should bypass this section." They retreated under covering fire, Hassan taking point to secure their new path. The maintenance shaft was narrow, forcing them to crawl in single file through cramped spaces filled with pulsing organic cables that seemed to recoil from their touch. "This is how they do it," Khan said, fascination momentarily overriding his fear. "These aren't just cables. They're neural pathways. Their ships are partially alive." "Save the scientific curiosity for when we're not about to die," Maya replied, though she understood his awe. The RACS technology was decades, perhaps centuries beyond humanity's. They emerged 3 decks higher, near what the schematics identified as a secondary processing node. According to their intelligence, the central processor would be 2 more decks up. "We're close," Maya said, "but they know we're here now. Every RACS on this ship will be looking for us." "Captain," Hassan said suddenly, voice low, "we've got movement ahead." From around the corner stepped a human figure, a woman in what appeared to be modified RACS armor. She raised her hand slowly. "Captain Chen, I'm Commander Natalie Ortiz, UEN Intelligence." Maya kept her weapon trained on the newcomer. "Prove it." "Authorization code Sierra, Echo 97 Delta," Ortiz replied smoothly. "I was embedded with the Nevada complex when it fell. I've been aboard this vessel for 27 days, gathering intelligence." Maya's eyes narrowed. "If that's true, why haven't you been detected?" "Because I volunteered," Ortiz said, her expression hardening. "The RACS don't just want our planet, Captain. They want us. Human brains are uniquely compatible with their neural technology. They've been harvesting people, converting them." A cold knot formed in Maya's stomach. "You're saying there are humans working for them?" "Not exactly working for them. More like integrated with their systems. I've been posing as one of the converted. It's how I've moved freely through the ship." "Why should we trust you?" Rodriguez demanded. Ortiz's eyes flicked to him. "Because I can get you to the central processor without fighting through half the ship's security forces." Maya made a quick decision. "Lead the way. But understand, if this is a trap, you die first." Ortiz nodded. "Fair enough." True to her word, Ortiz led them through sections of the ship that seemed lightly guarded. She used her access codes to bypass security nodes, explaining that the RACS trusted their neural technology so completely that they relied on it for most of their security. Their weakness, she explained as they moved, is that they can't conceive of betrayal within their network. The concept doesn't exist in their culture. They were approaching the central processor chamber when Khan pulled Maya aside. "Something's not right," he whispered. The RAC's neural technology includes safeguards against this kind of infiltration. She shouldn't be able to maintain her independence. Maya's hand tightened on her weapon. Ortiz, she called. One question. What was the name of the Nevada Complex director? Ortiz looked back. Dr. Marcus Rodriguez. Maya nodded slightly. According to their intelligence, the director had been Dr. Sarah Lynn. Now, Maya shouted, raising her weapon just as Ortiz lunged for Reyes and the pulse device. Rodriguez fired first, hitting Ortiz in the shoulder. She staggered but didn't fall, her movements suddenly becoming jerky and inhuman. When she looked up, her eyes had changed. Pupils expanded to consume the iris, with a faint luminescence behind them. We could have made this painless, Ortiz said, but the voice was different now. Layered, as if multiple entities spoke through her. You could have joined the collective willingly. We prefer to keep our individuality, Maya replied, placing a carefully aimed shot between Ortiz's eyes. The possessed woman collapsed, but the damage was done. Alarms blared throughout the section. Move, Maya ordered. We've got minutes at most. They sprinted the remaining distance to the central processor chamber. The massive doors were sealed, but Hassan placed breaching charges while the others provided cover against approaching RAC's forces. The explosion rocked the corridor, and they charged through the smoke into the chamber beyond. Inside was unlike anything they had expected. A vast, cathedral-like space, dominated by a central column of pulsing blue-green light. Around it, suspended in transparent pods, were hundreds of human bodies, connected to the column by a web of neural interfaces. My God, Rise whispered. They're using humans as processing nodes. Can we still deploy the pulse? Maya asked, forcing down her horror. Rise nodded shakily. Yes, but these people might not survive the disconnection. They're already gone, Khan said softly. Look at their brainwave patterns on the monitors. They're not individuals anymore. A deep voice echoed through the chamber. Fascinating creatures, humans. So adaptable. So resilient. From the shadows stepped Orcs unlike any they had seen before. Taller, with scales that shifted through colors like an oil slick, and 6 arms instead of 4. Its head crest was elaborately decorated with what appeared to be technological enhancements. You would be the resistance leader, it said, addressing Maya directly. The one they call the Ghost Captain. And you would be? Maya asked, signaling her team to spread out. I am Overlord Krasthvar, the creature replied. Conqueror of 17 worlds. Soon to be 18. Not if we have anything to say about it, Maya responded, raising her weapon. The Overlord made a sound that might have been laughter. Your weapons cannot harm me in this place. This chamber is the heart of our neural network. My consciousness extends through every circuit, every organic component of this vessel, and the fleet beyond. As if to demonstrate, energy fields sprang up around Maya's team members, immobilizing them where they stood, all except Maya herself. I have left you free, the Overlord said, because I wish to understand. Why do you resist? We offer transcendence. Your species could join us, become part of something greater than your individual selves. That's not transcendence, Maya replied. It's extinction. Humanity isn't perfect, but what makes us human is our individuality, our right to choose, to fail, to learn, to grow on our own terms. A primitive perspective, the Overlord said dismissively. You cling to chaos when we offer order. We prefer our chaos to your order, Maya said, slowly circling to keep the Overlord's attention on her and away from her immobilized team. We've spent our entire history fighting against those who would take away our freedom. We won't stop now. The Overlord made a dismissive gesture. Your resistance is meaningless. Even now, your world burns. Your military forces are scattered. Soon, there will be nothing left but to accept our dominion. You're wrong about one thing, Maya said. Our resistance isn't meaningless. It's all we have, and sometimes it's enough. With a quick motion, she activated her emergency beacon. the signal for Reyes to trigger the pulse remotely. The engineer had managed to keep one hand free enough to reach the activation switch on her wrist. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the pulse device in Reyes's backpack began to emit a low hum that quickly built to a piercing whine. The Overlord's head snapped toward the sound, its eyes widening in what might have been the first expression of fear ever to cross its features. "What have you done?" it demanded, advancing on Maya. The energy fields holding her team flickered and died as the pulse's disruption spread through the neural network. The central column of light began to pulse erratically. "Given humanity a fighting chance," Maya answered, firing her weapon point-blank into the Overlord's chest. The alien staggered back, green ichor flowing from the wound. Around them, the chamber began to shake as the pulse's effect cascaded through the ship's systems. "We need to move," Khan shouted above the growing chaos. "The disruption is spreading faster than we anticipated. This whole ship could come apart." "What about them?" Rodriguez asked, gesturing to the humans suspended in the pods. Maya looked at the captive humans with deep regret. "We can't save them, but we can make sure they're the last to be taken." They fought their way back through the ship, which was now in chaos. Rack's troops moved erratically, their neural implants malfunctioning. Some collapsed entirely, while others attacked anything that moved, including each other. "The pulse is affecting their entire command structure," Khan observed as they ran. "Without the Overlord to maintain order, their hive mind is collapsing." They reached the hangar bay to find it in disarray. Their stolen scout ship remained where they had left it, seemingly undamaged. As they fought their way toward it, the ship-wide communication system suddenly activated, broadcasting on all frequencies, including their own comms. The message was not in Rack's language, but in English, spoken in a chorus of human voices. "The connection is broken. We are free. Thank you." Maya felt a chill run down her spine, realizing it was the collective voice of the humans who had been connected to the neural network, their final moment of reclaimed individuality before the system's collapse. They made it to the scout ship just as the first major explosions began to rock the command vessel. Reyes took the neural interface chair again, grimacing at the connection, but managing to get the ship airborne. As they pulled away from the massive command vessel, they could see the effect spreading through the Rack's fleet, ships drifting out of formation, some colliding with each other, weapons firing randomly into space. "It worked," Hassan said in disbelief. "The whole fleet is affected." "What now, Captain?" Rodriguez asked as they accelerated away from the chaos. Maya watched as the Rack's command ship began to break apart behind them, secondary explosions cascading through its massive structure. "Now we go home. There's a war to win." The journey back to Earth was silent, each person lost in their own thoughts. They had struck a decisive blow against the Racks, but the cost had been high. Earth still burned below them, and humanity's fight was far from over. As they entered the atmosphere, Maya opened a channel to any remaining human forces. "This is Captain Maya Chen. The Rack's command vessel has been destroyed. Their fleet is in disarray." She paused, then added with quiet determination, "Humanity stands." All across the planet, the message was received by scattered resistance cells, military remnants, and civilian survivors. In bunkers and hideouts, the words were repeated with growing hope. "Humanity stands." The war was not over. The Racks were wounded but not defeated. Yet in that moment, as Maya's team returned to a world still fighting for its survival, the balance had shifted. Humanity had proven what the Racks had failed to understand: that individuality, the very chaos they sought to eliminate, was also the source of humanity's greatest strength. As their ship descended toward the ruins of New Seattle, Maya watched the sunrise breaking over the horizon, the first light of a new day for humanity among the stars.